Hey folks, welcome back. Yamaha Rhino. I assume it's a 660 because of this kind of faded deal right there. You got, I can see displacement 660 right there. What we have is an oil leak back here. See on the tip of that bolt right there, that's part of it. It's just something that we haven't cleaned off really much yet, but it's leaking above that. It almost looks like it's leaking right out of one of these studs over on this side though. If I can get a good snapshot of it, and then it leaks down right past that bolt and everything. So this isn't something that's really in my wheelhouse, but I just decided to, I know the guy that decided to take it on and everything and figure out, you know, well, it's an oil leak, how bad can it be? Oil leaks can be a bitch sometimes to find, not, you know, too bad every time, but I mean, they can start out, you know, basically we're, you know, not sure if it's going to be the valve cover or the head gasket, somewhere in that area. We're going to have to get in here and figure out, you know, what's going on. Like I said, I've not worked on one of these before. So like I said, it's not in that saying, you know, this is not technically in my wheelhouse. But something like that is, and that can have an oil leak. Just the same as this thing right here having an oil leak. So we're gonna have to just get into it, figure out what's going on. Like I said, now you can see that bolt a little bit better. When the guy actually he thought it was leaking from that bolt, he removed it, tried to reseal it and everything like that, and couldn't get her done, but it was leaking out above that, and then it looked like it was leaking from this stud, everything, like, you know, and it was just a nice drip, clean oil. It's not, you know, anything, it's just coming right out of the engine, and that's what we're gonna be able to try to figure out what's going on. So I thought I'd bring you along, so let's keep on going.
That's about the best shot I could get of it. It's just, there's just too much stuff in the way, but that's where we're looking at right there. If I can hold this, the oil was coming right down the bottom of my finger, right down there, dripping down, and then right here, you follow this, like this deal right here, that's the head gasket, that little line right there. But you follow this down where my finger is, that's that bolt we were looking at before. Sorry. Anyways,
Where she's coming out at, so we got to get this figured out to see what is in there. Oh, come on, camera, focus. To you know, where that oil could be coming from there. Okay, we did some more examining. This pipe kind of comes apart. You know, there's a couple bolts on that bracket right there, and where is the end of that? There it is. Not too hard, but
what we did get is a little bit better of a way to shoot inside of here to get a good shot of it, and I was able to use a mirror, but I'm not going to show that on the camera because I need 3 hands. Yeah, I really don't know how well this is coming out on the camera, but that looks like the spark plug. That's the hex part you can see on the spark plug, and we're going to confirm it. You know, it's coming from back behind that, so we might have a valve cover gap. I don't know what we're going to find, but that looks like the spark plug that you can see, which is kind of odd, but you know, you access it from right up here. You can see the spark plug goes right in the top there. You know, we're going to have to remove this and get a little better access in there, which that is all one piece there, as you can see. Come on, focus. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna confirm that that's the spark plug, and we're gonna look down in there and see what we can see.
All right, ladies and gents, we're learning more each time, so very easy to pull that tube off to access the spark plug. Down in there, pull the spark plug wire out. Had a little remnants of oil on the end of it. And let's go down to the bottom. Get focused here. See, I'm shining my light down the spark plug hole. You can see my light in there now. Not bright, but so yeah, that's where you can look down on here and you can see that the oil starts okay, right where the light is. See where the light's pointing at right there? That's where the oil is starting and going down. And I believe that is right where the valve cover would actually meet the head, because if you look, I looked at some pictures and stuff, and if you look at the head, it's kind of got that round area there. And I believe we just need a new valve cover gasket to seal that there, and that'd probably fix our problem with the oil's leaking down. And then you can see down in the bottom of there, it's just kind of like a little, like a spout almost, and right at the bottom of the spark plug, and the oil's coming right out of there. It's crazy, interesting design, you know. If we move my light here, whoa, sorry about that. But if we take and spray some of this brake cleaner up in the top, we'll get the deal down and just get right into the spark plug hole there, and then yeah, it just comes out. We've pretty much located our oil leak. Alright, so if you look at pictures of this, is the cylinder head without the valve cover, and it's just one that I saw on Amazon. Like here's the whole valve cover that we're looking at, and we're looking at right in this area that we were, you know, getting our oil spilled out of, and then we went, you know, and shined a flashlight down there. But if we come back over here and we see this area right here is exactly where the oil's starting in on that deal, and that's where we're seeing the, you know, I don't see any cracks yet, but we're just gonna have to remove this valve cover and see what we see. But I'm seeing it really, it's up in this area right here. Now I can't run the engine and look in there and see. I just knew that I ran the engine and was able to look at this down in here, and I could see the oil, you know, confirm that the oil was coming out of here. So that's kind of what we're looking like we've got going on. Okay, so we're gonna get in here and remove this valve cover. According to the manual and what looks like in some of the pictures, is your actual rocker arms, you know, that operate the valves and stuff, are attached into the valve cover itself, so they're going to come off with it. And so you need to get the engine to top dead center, so that, you know, your intake and exhaust valves are both closed, top dead center on your power stroke basically. And to do that, we're going to remove this cover right here. There's 4 10mm bolts, 1, 2 there, and then there's going to be a couple more down there. We'll get that thing removed off of there. That's one thing, so you can grab a hold of there's a fan in here, I think. Looks like it's got to be a fan because of this tubing right here. Cooling fan, I bet, of some sort. Anyways, that's how we can grab and rotate it. They're also indicated that there was somewhere in here there was a like a hole or something like that with a mark on the, you know, basically I guess it would kind of resemble a flywheel in a way, I guess, I don't know. To be able to, we're marked that where you rotate that around, and you'll probably see that it's, you know, it could be at top dead center, exhaust stroke, and then you probably rotate it around, and we'll confirm that when I do it. But I just looking into it. The other thing I'm kind of looking at right here is this doesn't look like a gasket. This looks like silicone. So it's possible we're, you know, like I said, I didn't see anything about a valve cover gasket or anything like that. So we're just gonna have to get this off of here. Look like in some of those photos you can take this plate off and you can see your intake valves on this side, your exhauster on the other side. So we're gonna get that. I'm gonna just go ahead and pull this plate off of here, and you know, we're gonna make some kind of a little deal or something like that to identify all these bolts, because you can see they're all different sizes. These are probably different sizes than these. I would have thought these were metric, but it looks like a 3/16 Allen fits better in there than a 5 does. I don't know why, but that's just what I'm finding. So we got obviously we got one back there, here. We're gonna have ones in here. We'll look at those, you know, all around to here, and not that one, that one. And come around over here. You got one up there, these here. We're going to remove that, and that should be in all these ones down here on the bottom. And make sure when you do it, you get ones like this guy right here. Make sure them are all cleaned out and you got your Allen in there situated really good, because you do not want to strip these. So make sure they're, you know, get spray some brake clean or something like that. Get them all cleaned out, because like I said, you don't want to strip those. That's going to make a lot of unnecessary hassle for you. And we should have the room to pull that valve cover up and out of here, probably this direction towards the back here. So, alright, one little advice thing I can give on these things is spray some penetrating oil in the back of here. This bolt right down there, the insert spun inside of this plastic deal. It's not the end of the world, because you can get a nut, you know, to probably fit this bolt, or a whole new bolt and nut, and a couple washers, and you can tighten that back together to hold this cover on. But you know, if you spray the penetrating oil in there, it took some doing, but I got this one loosened up. But let's do this one while I'm on the camera here, because this one I haven't done yet, and it's very tight, very tight. So I'll work it that way, and I'm going to go back tight again. Okay, and then, man, it looks like the insert's going to pop out of that one too. I'll try to push down on this and get it worked that way. Let's see if I can try it one more time. And we did manage to break it loose, but she was really wanting to come out. So work it back and forth for a few times with the penetrating oil. Let it kind of maybe sit and soak for a bit, and you know, loosen up, and that cover will come off of there like that, so we can grab a hold of this, do our rotating. So, and I believe that right there is the plug where it had the gonna have the notches in there. We'll have to confirm that. So. Okay, I was wrong about the 3/16 fitting in here better than the 5. If you clean all these out, your 5 will fit. I thought it was a little bit too tight, but this is what this is, a 5mm. What I do suggest is just tapping on your top of your ratchet with a hammer a little bit, and then, you know, breaking those loose. Now these weren't as tight. These other ones could be a little bit tighter. I'll have to look up torque specs on those, figure out what they are, but we're gonna get all of these off of here. Okay, so with that cover off of there, there's an O-ring sealing for that one, and that can get your access to these valves. Okay, so the way this deal works, Okay, so this engine, by rotating this fan, you can see the directions of the blades, but anyways, it rotates, if you're looking at it just like this, counterclockwise is the way the engine rotates. You want to do it that correctly. And like I said, I rotated this till I kind of felt the compression start a little bit, and single cylinder, so that's easy. And then pulled the spark plug out, and then I was able to turn it, and I could hear the hissing sound coming out of there. And so now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but really hard to, but these are loose on camera. See that? They're loose. And then I looked in through the back and saw that the exhaust valves are closed. So we know this thing's at top dead center. So now we can go ahead and get this bolt off. And I imagine this is an oil line, I would guess. I don't know. It comes from right there, and then it's got another big fitting right there. And these are banjo fittings. You're gonna have a copper washer, one on each side of that. And so we should be able to move that out of the way. We might have to loosen it up here though, right there, to get it to move, because it don't look like it's been very bendable. So yeah, it's not actually hard to just kind of bend over. Just be real careful with it. We got a copper washer still there, and then that's the one for the other side. Remember to put it back in. So now we're going to go ahead and take all these bolts off around here and get this cover off. Alright, so this is kind of your pattern. Pretty much you got your spark plug hole there, and it's not quite exactly straight, but the whole reason I got to looking at this going, dang, how am I going to remember all of the different sizes? Because, you got this bolt, which is only that long, and you got this bolt, which is it's that long, right next to each other, so it's kind of a funky deal. But anyways, that's how I drew this thing out and made that. It's kind of a old Indian trick, or something your granddad would probably would have known about. So with that, we can start kind of working this thing off. And you see that dowel kind of pin right there. It feels like there's another one down below. And that, yep, there is. It's right there. You can't really, want camera focus on it. Right there. But anyways, there is our valve cover, and I'm pretty sure that our oil leak is right there in that particular area, and it is confirmed it's just silicone. These bearings don't look the greatest, but we're just gonna try it and put it back. They want me to put it back together and everything, so I've already had this off. I just had to pick this up off here, set it back down on there so I can show you how to do it on camera. But I was looking at it, and these bearings right here got a little bit of scratches in them and stuff, but it's not really a replaceable bearing. It's machined into the surface, so if you got bad bearings, you got to replace this whole thing. So anyways, the ones on that side look okay, and the camshaft, it's all right, but not the best. It ain't gonna last quite as long, but it's really not that hard to get to. That's the head kind of just sitting there. What we're gonna do is get this all cleaned up and get that the old silicone off, get all this old grease off and everything like that, and then we're gonna seal this thing back up and see if that fixes it. Alright, as we're getting this cleaned up, we got a little bit more scraping to do, but I wanted to point out this. Do you notice how these holes got filled up with oil? Like one right there. You want to take an air or brake cleaner or something, you want to blow that out of there, because if you just stick the bolt right in there, it's going to turn and turn, and some of the oil might come out, but then when you get enough threads down in there, the rest of the oils could hydrolock and give you a false torque, and you won't be tightening it down all the way, and you'll have a leak, especially right in this area. for sure because of how this oil pool's sitting right here. But so what I'm gonna do is get this oil all sucked out of there and then get it all cleaned up, and we'll blow all these holes out and make sure there's no oil in any of them. So just wanted to point that out. Okay, so we got this all torqued back on. One thing about putting the silicone on there is, spread it around, really smooth so that you're gonna get some overlap, and you want about that much, see. To me, that's pretty good. And when that, especially for the doesn't make a difference outside here, it's just inside. You don't want to put a whole big huge glob of it and have a big glob kind of come off and then drop down or something per se. So you want to get it smoothed all on with your finger and everything, and get these torqued down. So we're going to go ahead and get this put back on. We're going to get this line put back on, and then rehook our, I did pull off this breather hose, which goes right there, and then I also pulled off the fuel line, which is this right here. I just routed it, it just goes right up around here to this vacuum pump, and then this is the line for the vacuum pump that goes right on there. And then we'll put this cover back on. Like I said, the insert broke and kind of came off in there. In fact, I can show you what it did. Right there. Come on, camera, focus. So we're gonna have to get that off and then just get a nut that'll match this bolt, or just cut it off and get a new one or whatever. So if it came off correctly, your bolt would look like that and go through here, and then go in there for that. There's the insert, how it's supposed to look like. But like I said, that one came off in there, and then this one was just plumb missing. So I'll have to get another bolt for that, get that all put back together, and that just goes there for the end of this anyways. And yeah, it's pretty much just a matter of putting the exhaust, all of that up back together. So keep on going. All right, folks, we got everything all put back together and all torqued up. We got our lines and everything hooked up, and we're ready to start it and figure out if we fixed anything. All right, we got it running. We're about 15 minutes here now and no leaks, so it's all looking good. Thanks for watching.